Hey, how are you? It's Cassandre Xavier here, also known as Amethyste Rah and Amrita Waterfalls and Endowed Goddess. It is, maybe I shouldn't always say the date, right? Because then it might make the video seem older. I don't know. Maybe I won't do that this time. Yeah, I'll just let the descriptions say what the date is. And do you like that I talk as I am thinking? Oh my. Okay, the topic of today's sharing and caring is poetry is medicine for the poet. And 2 points I wanted to talk about are go out to readings with friends. And in friends, it's friend and parenthesis, S close parenthesis, and parentheses. Anyway, and the second one is right when you're upset. So what happened was yesterday I went to a poetry reading to support the event, and I also purchased. It was a group reading, and they were releasing an anthology chapbook, and a lot of the readers were featured in it. And so I purchased the chapbook for $10. It was very polished. It was very nice chapbook, and I saw the readers, and my friend who is a poet had invited me to go to see her read at this. She was one of the featured readers. So if it was a therapeutic thing for me, being an isolating, sort of antisocial, sort of bipolar PTSD, stay in the house type of person, and I only go out if I have to work on organizing the festival or something like that. And for my therapy, I'm at like 14 medical appointments a month. So usually I am, out for those things and errands to buy my fruitlets and my plantlings. Um, so, so I was at this event, and it was really good to get out. And when I saw her, she told me how she had mustered up every single one of her gumptions to get out of the house, and we both did. And I told her I almost canceled because I didn't realize it was going to be a 4 hour event, and I thought the two o'clock time slot was when she was going on, but it turns out there was no assigned. So there's this huge thing, and for me to travel from the suburbs on public transportation on a Sunday, meaning that the trains and things don't run as often as on the weekdays. So it was but I said go, 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 go. So we talked about that, and we also talked to another poet woman who was there, and she had talked about how she almost didn't leave the house. And it's not so much these aren't people talking about like a lazy Sunday I wanted to stay in because I work Monday through Friday and I wanted to rest. These are people who have mental health issues, and for whom like my friend told me that the only reason she even went to work, like got out of the house for that week, was to go to work. If she didn't have to go to work, she wouldn't have left the house. Depression is huge. So if you write poetry, if you enjoy poetry, if you call yourself a poet, use it. It is not a luxury, right? I saw a bumper sticker. It was a thing people used to say in the olden days, right? Art is not a luxury. It ain't. It is not a luxury. There's a reason that those of us who are called to be creative in that way, in an artistic way, we're supposed to do that. That's how we're built. Like athletes are built to move their bodies, and if they don't, they're going to suffer in some way. And I think poets are supposed to be out among our kind, and I think that the I think you can be healthier if you're out with poets. And I noticed that when I stopped going to poetry events and stuff in the early 2000s, I think that started a deterioration of my mental health. I think it made my symptoms worse. No, I don't think that it made, I don't know. I don't know. Like, I had a psychiatrist who told me that when things are going well, it's hard to say what of your therapeutic whole system is the cause. He said it's kind of like if 6 people are moving a couch, he said it's hard to say who's doing the most lifting. because I would say, okay, I don't know if it's my medication that's helping so much, or if it's this, or if it's that, or if it's going to therapy several times a week, twice individual and one or two group therapy sessions a week. And, he's like, who's to say what it is? Or is it my whole foods? Is it my vitamin and mineral and herbal supplements? Is it, you know what I mean? Maybe it's the fact that I have so much in there. So I think that letting go of poetry for whatever reason, that could have been also one of my symptoms also. Maybe part of the social isolation also ventured on into, not going to poetry readings and stuff. But anyway, I've been getting back into it. I started in August maybe, or September or October, September, in early August or September of 2018, I started going back. I went to a poetry reading and I shared at the open mic, really favorable, like a really good response to that. But then I hadn't been out again until yesterday, and that was a really good thing. And every time I'm in a situation like that, I'm reminded it's really important for us poets to be around each other and for us to read our work. So, and to support, support the venue, support the organization, the group. If they have a book, buy the book, So I bought the chapbook and I had as many poets as I could find sign their page. It was wonderful. Um, so and the going out with friend part is that extends your therapeutic thing. If I'm talking to people who have bipolar disorder, PTSD, social anxiety, or if you have none of those, it's still good to be with friends. If it's easy for you to be with friends, great. For some of us, it's challenging. So I'm saying if you're one of those, just do the work and you'll be better off for it. I don't know. Ugh. The second thing is write when you're upset. That's an easy one. Um, yeah. I have found that writing poetry is one of the best ways to process difficult emotions. Things that don't have an easy yes or no answer, things that have no solution except to be with it until it passes. Poetry. And another reason, poetry, and I say that as opposed to journal writing, I just ate, that's why I'm burping. Actually, I ate breakfast and I also just chugged all of my medications and supplements for the morning. Um, so that's a lot going on in my esophagus right now. Um, so yeah, so write poetry and also I find that writing is therapeutic. Writing the poetry, it's different than writing it in a journal. And the reason is, one, the format is different, and two, usually you don't share your journal writings at poetry at a reading, at an open mic, but usually the poems end up being shared at some point, whether it's in a chapbook or at an event, at an open mic, or if you're a featured reader. And I find that usually when I'm writing from a painful place or a difficult place or a sexy place, usually it's well received because it is, after all, an expression. It's still art, and people dig that. So, um, so that's what I wanted to share. That is, poetry is medicine for the poet. And I hope that that was helpful to you and will help you to write more poetry this week, and or check out what's going on in your town. Go to Facebook and put in poetry and the name of your city or town, and or whatever social media platform you use, and see what resonates with you. And maybe you might notice that there are several people that that tend to kind of appear at the same, you know, couple of places. And that might be a place to check out if you like those people. Or again, just what resonates with you. And open mics are really great. A lot of times featured readings will have a portion of that event where they do open the floor to other folks to share, and that is a really helpful thing to do, um, um, to be sort of a more well-rounded person. All right, well, I hope that and also to help you deal with with difficult feelings in life and things that happen. So Thanks for letting me share in my funny looking, warm, soft, fuzzy hat in my chilly room and with my thingy. I think I'm done, eh? Okay, talk to you later. Bye.